It is our pleasure to be together with the Commissioner of Cohesion and Reforms, Elisa Ferreira, here in Patras. And you have already visited Athens and you will go also to Megalopolis. But let's start from here, from Patras. We are at the meeting of the Political Bureau of the CPMR. And one of the outcomes of the meeting was that the European Union needs to secure new increased fundings for the adaptation of its member countries to climate change. Are we ready and prepared for the impacts of climate change in general?
Well, it's difficult to be prepared because we don't know exactly what shape it will take. But it is happening now. It's not something that we were expecting to happen in 50 years' time. Now it is happening. And so more and more, when you use this massive cohesion funding, and for time being, Greece has an immense amount of money, combining the RRP and the 21-27 cohesion funding, it is important to make sure that when you do things, that matter, and things that anticipate, that prepare the regions to be more resilient to these changes that will occur. In April, we are going to publish a report in which we also estimate the coastal areas will be suffering from the increase of the water level, from the extreme phenomena, as well as, for instance, the areas with forests. So we have got to anticipate and to do investments that prepare and that reduce the risks of having very, very serious problems.
Is there a way to balance economic growth with environmental sustainability goals? And I mean, you will go also to Megalopolis, and it's the green transition we are looking at. How will you secure that this is going to go in a balanced way?
Yes, the way into a more climate and environmental friendly kind of economy is happening. All over Europe, mines had been closing since the 90s, and so in a lot of situations and cases, it happened that there was massive unemployment and that there was this kind of backlash in the dynamic of the region. As we understand and we feel and we notice that this transition is accelerating by, I mean, like it happened with, for instance, textile industry, shipbuilding in the past. So transition is part of the game. It's part of the agenda. But in the regions where there is a lot of dependency from and jobs, I mean in particular, from these industries that are going through changes, we have created an extra support to try to stimulate new jobs, new employment, and I am visiting all over Europe these areas. So I was here in Western Macedonia, now I'll go to Megalopolis. Exactly, I mean it's not easy, but these people, they need a future. So we have got really to be able to attract new industries or new activities of the tertiary, primary, secondary sector. Doesn't matter, it matters that these people, they have to have a future that is more resilient than depending on a sector that is closing down, that is the mining or the emission dependent kind of economic sectors.
Sometimes, though, we view economic inequality and within the European Union. How do you plan to address these challenges to ensure more balanced and inclusive regional development across the member states? Because we are here in Western Greece and also in Peloponnese, it's thought that they are not well economic regions.
Well, that is the purpose of cohesion funding. And Greece is one of the biggest beneficiaries, as well as other member states, of this support. And why this support exists? It exists not like a transfer, a permanent transfer. No, it exists to create the conditions for these regions to develop all their potentiality. Often we start by solving infrastructural problems, but infrastructures is just a necessary condition. We just have crossed the bridge, which is a very symbolic project. But I just went to visit the heritage in a big forum from the Roman times. The problem of water, the problem of sewage, the problem of roads or railways, these problems have to be solved. Otherwise, it's difficult to ask for companies to locate here. But as these problems are being solved, we need to shift our attention into more value-added jobs for young, qualified people, which requires that also the companies recognize that locating here may be a benefit, because they don't have to face so many congestion costs as they do in other regions in Europe. So cohesion funding, which is really a very big program, is exactly not only to help Greece to speed up the development, but also inside Greece. The more balanced Greece is, the more resilient and the stronger the country is. So it is a kind of mutual benefit. It benefits Europe. Europe, if it has lots of weak regions, it's not strong. So each region has got to give its contribution and to have its own place, which is different, but it is up to the regional level and national level to decide how to organize a sustainable future for the citizens, in particular the younger, qualified citizens, so that the older citizens also can have a proper life without being alone, with no young people around, with no new jobs, no kids, no families around. That is not nice. So we really have to balance growth. And growth is resilience and is more robustness for the country and for Europe.
Because you mentioned young people, yesterday you visited the technological park here in Patras. Tell us about the opportunities it offers for the development of the local economy.
Well, in fact, that was one of the positive examples. We visited and we spoke with highly sophisticated technology people that come from the university. And the quality of institutions is very important. We talk too much about money. In this period we have exceptional funds. So let's discuss and let's share with others and let's make it visible what you do with the money. And this is the issue that we have got to address. And in this case, we saw very sophisticated initiatives, some of them in which people that have a technological background, they start their own business, and in other cases they offer to investors, to highly performant investors, they offer the opportunity to locate here the highest quality part of the design of systems, of research, of innovation. So this is what we all are looking for, and environment greening is opening a lot of opportunities in that sense, because more and more we can do research on materials, on how to save energy, on how to reduce the footprint, what is the damage to the economy, because if you damage your own survival, that is not sustainable. So environment and development are together, and they feed each other, opening new opportunities. So we just have to grasp them, to take them, and to create the jobs, to create the companies, to create the opportunities that add value and good jobs in this region.
What are really the strategies that you propose to boost innovation and research funding across the Europe countries, ensuring that Europe remains competitive in emerging technologies and industries?
Yes, of course, I would take too much of your time if I would start explaining all the funds and all the instruments. Some people say that we have too many, but more and more we are trying to connect development strategies in regions like here, Patra and the surrounding area, development strategies with innovation, with technology, and with high value-added jobs. Because you cannot grow, you cannot develop if you don't concentrate attention on how to add value to what you produce. It can be in all sectors, because there is innovative technology in tourism, in management of environmental parks, in management of water. There is no negative and positive sector. And you can go into satellites, but you can go in more sophisticated ways to produce wine or to produce agricultural products. The issue is that you keep fighting to add value, to put some innovative techniques, and that through that value added, that you manage actually to create good jobs. I insist on this because we are becoming an old continent. So we need to give to the young generation the possibility to have a proper family if they want, with good quality of life, and not to make things so difficult through the costs of housing, costs of education, costs of transport, pollution costs, congestion costs. And this is what regions like this one, like Western Greece, can offer, but this has got to be taken on board by Europe, by the local actors, and by the central government, which I'm sure we all share.
Are you happy really on the absorption capacity of Western Greece or of Peloponnese that you will visit?
Yes. There is a high level of absorption from Greece in general, that's why I think this is not a problem. The problem is to do the right things, which is your choice. It's not Europe that imposes to you. You make the proposals. So it's very important to have this regional level and to have the capacity to bring everybody together, to discuss with citizens, to give space to the different local and regional institutions, and then not to disperse the funding in doing routine and business as usual things. The purpose of the funding is that you start your own growth in such a way that you don't need funding in the future, or you have the need for just specific support to develop some sort of more risky business or more risky innovation. But that you unblock your potential, and that you contribute to the European and to the Greek wealth. That is the point.
I would like to thank you very much for this interview, and I hope that you enjoy your stay here in Greece.
I'm enjoying it immensely. Thank you very much for your interest. Thank you very much for the incredible quality of this welcoming. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Ευχαριστούμε εμείς.